Are you looking for the best QLED TVS? In this video we will look at some of the 5 best QLED TVS on the market. Before we get started with our video, we have included links in the description. So make sure you check those out to see which one is in your budget range. Starting at number 1. TCL QM8 QLED 4K Mini LED. New for 2023, TCL is at it again with its lineup of mini LED QLED TVs that continue to prove that you can have high-end features and quality at prices that are way more reasonable than the marquee TV brands. And the TCL QM8 is literally the brand's shining example, blindingly shiny with peak brightness levels of 2500 nits in our tests, making it one of the brightest TVs we've ever seen. Our reviewer was so impressed with the QM8, in fact, that he praised it as his go-to-TV recommendation for probably 90% of people this year. In line with QLED's ability to deliver bright images that are great for those setting up their TV in a light-drenched room, the MQ8 also has it where it counts in the contrast area, too, with support for Dolby Vision, HDR10, HRD10+, and HLG, and excellent local dimming that also make it a good performer in darker rooms with decent black levels. Are they as inky as OLED? No, but not much is, and with OLED still costing a premium, it's getting harder and harder to make a viable case for spending the extra cash. The QM8's mini LED technology delivers excellent color accuracy, too, with 97% coverage of DCI-P3 and about 76% of BT.2020 color gamuts. The TCL QM8 is a Google TV-based TV, which makes for easy setup and use as well as access to all the streaming services and apps you could ever want via the Google Play Store, plus it's got Chromecast built in for easy mirroring and casting from your devices. Number 2. HighSense U8K QLED TV. We can't stop talking about HighSense TVs. When HighSense models first started hitting US shelves, they were decent TVs, but they were certainly aimed at a more price-conscious shopper, with cost valued more than performance. Fast forward to today, and HighSense has carved out quite the name for itself, and not just because of how much you won't spend on a model like the U8K. This is one mean QLED, folks. In our own testing of the TV, the HighSense U8K rocked the house when it came to peak brightness levels, delivering readings around 2000 nits when viewing HDR content. Tech talk aside, this means that the U8K can get insanely bright, and without colors becoming oversaturated. That's the biggest feat, really. Yes, most QLEDs can get very bright, but this tends to interfere with overall color accuracy and contrast. That's just not the case with the U8K. Number 3. TCL Q7 QLED. We've been very impressed by TCL's mini LED models over the last few years, so it's no surprise that the brand gets more than one mention in our roundup. Sitting one rung below the QM8, the TCL Q7 is another awesome QLED that competes with models like the HighSense U7K and the Sony X90L. We tested the 65-inch version ourselves. It's also available in 55-, 75-, and 85-inch sizes, and we're taken aback by the Q7's high brightness output and vivid colors. Now, as far as nit metrics go, the TCL Q7 is a bit on the lackluster side. Not only did it score some SO peak brightness readings, around 1100 nits, with HDR playback, but the MER results found their way into SDR content too, about 700 nits for peak brightness. Compared to TVs like the HighSense U8K, the Q7 just doesn't touch the kind of QLED brightness of some of its competitors, but that doesn't mean there isn't plenty to love about it. Two of the Q7's 4 HDMI inputs are full bandwidth 2.1 ports that support 4K at up to 120 Hz. It also runs the latest version of Google TV for all your Netflix and Prime Video streaming needs. Plus, you'll be able to use Google Assistant to search for media and control your smart home devices, and there's also AirPlay and HomeKit support. Number 4. Samsung S90C OLED. Although not technically a QLED TV, this list would be incomplete if we didn't mention the Samsung S90C OLED. While the other TVs on this list use an LED backlight with a quantum dot layer to achieve a wider color gamut, the S90C uses an OLED backplane and a printed quantum dot color layer. This combination results in much better color volume than traditional OLED displays while delivering deeper, more uniform blacks than the other QLED TVs on this list that use LED backlights. This TV certainly offers standout picture quality, even when compared to the HighSense U8/U8K, at a higher cost. Still, unfortunately, its low-quality content smoothing isn't as good as the HighSense, and it doesn't support Dolby Vision HDR or advanced DTS audio formats, making it a bit less interesting for home entertainment fans. Thankfully, it has a much wider viewing angle than the HighSense, so it's the TV to get for a wide seating arrangement. It has plenty of advantages when it comes to gaming. Like the HighSense, it supports every VRR technology to minimize tearing in games, but the Samsung TV supports up to 4K at 144 Hz on all 4 of its HDMI ports. It has a near-instantaneous response time and even faster input lag than the HighSense, so it's a better choice for competitive or retro gamers. It uses the Tizen OS Smart Interface, which is easy to use and has a wide selection of streaming apps. If you have money to burn, you could opt for the Samsung S95C OLED instead. It's Samsung's 2023 flagship option and is an amazing TV. It's brighter than the S90C, but for most people, it's not worth the significant price premium over its lower-tier sibling. Number 5. HighSense U7K, U7, U75K. The HighSense U7K is the best lower mid-range QLED TV we've tested. It's an impressive TV with a similar mini LED backlight to the HighSense U8/U8K, although it has fewer dimming zones, isn't as bright, and its contrast isn't quite as good. Still, the cheaper HighSense has a very wide color gamut, excellent contrast, and superb black uniformity, so it's a tremendous choice for watching HDR movies as they really pop in a dark room. It also has fantastic reflection handling with very good HDR peak brightness, so it's no slouch in a bright room. Unfortunately, it has a narrow viewing angle, just like its higher-tier sibling. However, it still supports Dolby Vision HDR and HDR10+ formats, as well as advanced DTS audio formats, so you can take full advantage of whatever content you're watching. It has the same good image processing as the U8K, making it a cost-effective home entertainment TV. The built-in Google TV platform is easy to use and has a ton of apps you can download, so you don't need to buy an external streaming box. It has a great selection of additional gaming features, including VRR support to reduce screen tearing and up to 4K at 144 Hz on its 2 HDMI 2.1 bandwidth ports. In some ways, it's an even better gaming TV than the more expensive HighSense due to its faster refresh rate, leading to a slightly more responsive gaming experience overall.